I ultimately believe that everything happens for a reason. And there are things that we need to learn from these experiences. And I understand that the dark side wants us to react. And I understand that the dark side wants us, the real us, the soul us, to confuse ourselves with the body. And I find it interesting that this matrix is such that I've zapped into it and I can be hit and targeted on a number of categories. Now my sex, my features, to some individuals that can have that dog-like scent to them where they understand there's a different braid around or something slightly different. It's at so many different levels. This is the world as it is. And I got to come to terms with it. And I need to understand it. And I need to write about it. And I need to survive it. I need to overcome it. Without any doubt in my mind, this dark force loves retaliation. It loves revenge. It loves to zap in and get one person to hurt another in order to get the other person to react. And there's a time and a place for reacting and saying what needs to be said, but also it's important to understand the situation for what it is. Now, in the last couple of days, there's been 2 references to my race. There was a video that I uploaded, and I was downtown, and I was confronting these Navy sailors, Navy officers, on a lot of different issues, and it was my First Amendment, and that's what I did. And one of them turned around and said, "You ain't even from here." So that's when I was leaving. That's why I came back. And, you know, it was a stand down of sorts. And no, I don't think the video made me look good. In fact, I'll go ahead and link down below, and you can watch it. Fine, you can go ahead and watch it. I took it off because it doesn't make me look... It made me look bad, and I was upset, and I did have a few, and that rarely happens, and I released some energy. There's also a solar flare recently, so even I get affected, and we had been walking around for hours and hours and hours, doing other things. I was down there for 5 hours, so that was at the very end of the night, and that was before I decided, okay, let's go over to the U.S. Navy themselves. Let's go over to the ship, and the full video will be on later. But that was the first thing that I dealt with. This guy saying, "You ain't even from here." And that's what continued the whole thing. You can hear it on the tape. And the next day, there's a guy who's a neighbor of a person I'm visiting right now. I've been parking my car outside his place for a couple of days using the internet. And this person had sent me an email, and he came off as friendly, saying, "Oh yeah, you know, I want you to look at this link on, you know, electric cars, free energy, some other stuff." And they started on about, you know, all the Muslims got to stick together, and the Arab people, you know, he's pointing at me like giving me some advice, and he had some mental issues. I said, well, actually, you know, my dad's Persian. Afghans are Persian, not Arab. But I understood the point. Yeah, we all got to stick together. No, not this race shit. Get out of the race box. Arab, Persian, Hispanic, white, black, no. Asian, no. People need to stick together, especially Americans. People all over the world. But in America, there are people here from different places. They need to understand how the country that they live in now has already been hijacked, and we're just seeing this play out. They need to get out of their race boxes now more than ever. But he said, "You hook-nosed looking people need to stick together." Hook-nosed? Who's he calling hook-nosed? Isn't that like reference to, yeah, I know, I have a nose, thanks. That may look different than the average African-American or Anglo-Saxon. He happened to be black. The other Navy officer also happened to be black as well. And then it was a white woman at New Seasons, which I talked about in the last video, where I just let her pass saying, "Go ahead," and she goes, "Gotcha." Like I shouldn't have said anything, whether it was the way I looked, my eyes, or just being a man. But these things happen for a reason. To conclude this video, there's no way I can walk off the pain and just breathe it away, meditate it away. This is ongoing, and I've got to find a way to catalog it to hopefully help people understand that when they talk about the archons and the dark forces and all of these things, how it really plays out is in the world of relationships between men and women. They can focus on the government, they can focus on some of these alien theories, they can look at the moon bases, they can look at all these things. It's all very interesting. Underground tunnels, it's happening. But on the ground where we live right now, in the present moment, there are dark forces that are a part of people. It's not external to them. It's a part, they're activating part of our software, the part of our software that's already there, the part of our software that's susceptible to programming, to hacking. So we need to create anti-hacking programs. We need to be spiritual beings and tap into our own energy. Those people that aren't doing that already, that aren't in their powerful place, they're intimidated by other people. They're affected by the programming because they're not in touch with reality. Therefore, they're under mind control. And so people talk about mind control, and they talk about these things, but it's deeper than that. It's how we are affected between man and woman, because that's the basis of all life, woman and man, the union. And it takes a man and a woman to bring a baby into this world. Therefore, they attack the man, they attack the woman. They attack the woman, they attack the man. They attack humanity. They attack us each on our own levels of susceptibility if we're susceptible to their influence. And so all this is happening for a reason. Not only the larger things in the world, they have come from something else. The root causes have not been dealt with, but in my own life, these incidents happen for a reason. I just mentioned several in a week or a few days. Actually, one day. The Navy officer saying I wasn't from here. The guy trying to be nice, saying us hoodwink people, hood-nosed, looking people need to stick together. And then that woman freaking out for me even addressing the queen. Her being the queen, me being the bad man. I look at my own life and I try to create positive encounters for myself, despite what I know is going on and any type of energetic sabotage, because I want to keep moving forward and I want to continue to help the world in the small way that I can. Nobody can save the world, but we can all create our own ripple effect. We can all affect the field by altering our field or fractals of the field, other people. With that, I want to thank you for watching.